Keep supporting them guys kasi ayun yung mas kailangan ng Blacklist ngayon kasi kailangan manalo para sa M5 and para sa 4th title ng Blacklist International.
Let's get them to cheer! Let's get them to cheer! Blacklist!
Break the code!
Mag-umpisa na ang ating game number 2. Babalikan na natin ang ating mga casters. Pass up.
Always a pleasure to hear from Boss Rada, the brains behind the success of Blacklist International in their early days. Welcome back to the desk. At your service, my name is Leo, here with the nice and Bren Santa Cruz. It's us, We Bear Bros. You're smack dab right in the middle of this best of 7 for the MPL Philippines Season 12 Championships.
Now, before we head on to the game number 2, we would like to thank, of course, our official sponsor, Smart. Smart is still the best network, having the fastest network and nationwide coverage in the country. As awarded, there you go, by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data for speed coverage of Q1 to Q2 of 2023.
You can enjoy the power of Smart when you switch to Smart without changing your number via mobile number portability or MNP. Visit smrt.ph/switch to Smart to know more.
Folks, let me tell you all about M5. You got the M5 early bird tickets. They're out now. You can get the PH Super Pass and the MVP Pass right now. Get them via /event.com.
And all MPL PH ticket buyers will get a 10% discount off on your M5 regular passes. A discount code will be sent to your guys' emails on November 3rd. So keep an eye out for that. And so, of course, what are you waiting for? Experience MLBB Esports live now. We can't wait to see you guys.
We got a few moments before the draft begins. Game 2 proper. In addition to what Coach Arcadia and Midnight talked about, are there any sticking points that we should consider as Blacklist tries to even the score? Because, again, best believe, if this goes 2-0, man, AP Bren can just get in their heads.
Exactly, and actually we were talking about this behind the scenes. For the side of Blacklist International, they may have overcommitted onto really just helping out OHEB, and they weren't able to manage the rest of the match well enough. But let's look at Bren, AP Bren, formerly Bren Esports, and look at all these achievements.
All right, you know what? I understand why some of the nerves might be getting the Blacklist International.
Yup.
This is what they're going up against.
This is like font size 10.
8.
There,
Yeah, because you needed to make sure it fits. Oh yeah, I pointed that out just to spell it out. Well, who are going up, that Blacklist International are currently going up against the Philippine national team
For 2023.
for 2023. So, yeah, no surprise that maybe if game number 1 there were a bit of jitters there because, come on, it's APP.
All right,
You remember the statistic, by the way, that we saw in-game?
if they win 1, there's about an 80-something% chance that they win the series. But again, this is the best of 7. Something to note. It's not like Blacklist International is an alien or unfamiliar to achievements and excellence, right?
Yep.
We've got a few national athletes as well playing under the Blacklist International banner, whether active or inactive. And they have also won themselves a world championship.
Yep.
And flying out of the country to represent us is not new to them, but just the same. I've mentioned this when we opened up. This is a very young roster. So it's impossible, even with all of the guidance and all of the tenureship, all of the experience, it's not impossible that you still somehow get a little bit of nerves, whether it be through an individual player or it just somehow expands all throughout via communications.
One thing I really appreciate though about Blacklist International, and it was touched upon on the little video that we showed before we opened up the show, is that the management and the coaching staff of Blacklist International, it really is truly top tier. How they take care of their players. You saw a figure being interviewed earlier. His name is Boss Rada. Now, if you're a Blacklist fan, you know just how much he's done for the team in terms of their mentality. So right now, we don't know how active he is, but rest assured, he probably messaged the boys some words of encouragement, some Rada magic.
Talking about
Yeah.
messaging, even their CEO,
I was just thinking
far
about that.
up as their CEO, personally talks to the players and messages them right before big matches, and the results, it's in the pudding. Talking about Philippines stats, going up against the world. Check this out. Sinsui, MPL Philippines. Kyle Tizzy, MPL Philippines. Kyrie and Hades once from MPL Philippines. Is that not just excellence across the board,
Yeah.
all around the world?
Yeah, and you can really see here just a diverse playstyle. You know, we know Blacklist, the fighter tank junglers, but then when you show up for AP Bren, that's why AP Blacklist International are respecting the assassins. Kyrie can flex. Hades, we know he's a hell of an assassin player as well in MPLS.
AA Mon.
The AA mod.
Hey, there was once a time wherein he was the most prolific Ling
Yeah.
in the league.
True.
They called him Batang Pasay
That
for reasons. Kid from Pasay.
Kid from Pasay.
Yeah. When you come here for the M5 World Championship, go on over to Pasay, play some MLBB, and all I could say is good luck.
You will understand. Let's go into game number 2 here, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, AP Bren at the lead. They'll be on red side this time around. Blacklist calling the shots from blue. There's the Joy, the Fanny, and the Edith taken out by Coach Master of the Basics. While Coach Ducky, again, there seems to just be one target in the draft. That's Insui.
Okay, so they ban out the Akai still, because Blacklist are now really finally respecting the Edith of Oakland. So if it's an Akai ban, oh, it's an Angela ban, surprisingly enough. So they're taking away the best possible complementary pieces, actually, for OHEB. So now the question for Blacklist is, will you go for something else?
Okay, guys.
Yep, they'll go for the Nolan. Matilda, Valentina,
game kedua.
available on the board right now.
Sensui was the first one to get a Nolan win, at least for the playoffs, if I remember right, you know, earlier on.
Yep.
But one thing that's very clear here is the fact that what we've seen struggle before with Nolan is being able to find a way into the team fights, into the objectives, right? And if you look back at game 1, that's one thing that Black International needs to change in this game too, is they need to be able to contest those turtles. If they give up 1, sure, that's fine, but not all 3. Don't give those all to AP Bren here, and especially when it gets to the Lord.
Okay, let's see if it's a Terizla Nova or maybe Terizla Valentina pickup for Blacklist International. You know, that's a comfort for... Oh, wow, they're still rushing. They're now really putting the gold lane earlier for their drafts. Again, this is very different from their regular season. And, yep, it's the Valentina. AP Bren can take Fredrin if they want to.
All right.
Excuse me, Terizla.
Yep. And if they do that, then that means that they would be drafting very differently from the way that they beat the Nolan first time around against Blacklist with a mid Phobius, because right now, there's no doubt that's going to be a mid Paramus.
Oh, well, they can go Equinate Arlon also. If they just want to have a tool for that Nolan. Because, again, one of the weaknesses of the Nolan is if you can displace him. Displace him well enough and he will struggle. That's why we saw an Arlon Rome get picked up at one point to face up against a Nolan. I believe that was JP of Echo, the first flex that in the playoffs.
But all the more now that we're talking about it, I want to see...
Oh, there it is!
No!
Is that were you leading into this? Or?
No! I was going to say that Terizla is good. Because it has the body of Smith. You can't burst him just as hard, but...
Well, have you seen the body of Phobius?
Whoa. Body
It's
of
not a
Phobius.
passive.
No. But yeah, XP lane is flapped. Is he going to be playing this?
Yeah, it looks like it. If it goes anywhere else, if it goes into the jungle, gentlemen, I think I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
Last time we might have seen that again, just for my memory, is Ryzen when he was still in Smart Omega.
Yep, that one game they had, it didn't go so
Never
well.
again.
Never again did it happen. I believe that was season 10?
He and Coach Buffett had a long talk.
Now if you look at the stats, of course the support utility way up for APB. Blacklist International, one way that they might be able to approach this, how they will actually approach this, because you see their first 3 picks. That's a lot of burst damage. And this is similar to how Echo wanted to play up against the more high sustain lineup of Blacklist International. You commit your burst, but because since your burst damage is so easily accessible, the cooldown reduction or the cooldown of the Nolan abilities isn't long at all, then really APB here, they have to maximize the timing of their key utility abilities.
Yeah, and as you saw from that index, they have a ton of it, right? And that's my big thing. If you're thinking from Blacklist International side, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with the fact that you also have the combination of the Feramis and the Matilda alone, right? That's a lot of mobility to work against. It's a lot of sustainability, and even if you catch someone, most likely they have an opportunity to guiding wind out, right? So how do you deal with that? Well, right now it's kind of burst, right? You hope you get to utilize the Nolan pick. You hope you get to get some of the marks off and get a fadeaway torn apart memory. But still, you know, the rest of those last 2 picks, what do you build around that?
Ooh, okay. So I'm trying to look for that little focus game that maybe Bren had. I can't find it. To see if their golden will just be a page or something. Something that can provide a little bit better wave clear and more for sustained damage as well, because right now this is all very ability based. For the damage of AP Bren, they need a little bit more pop 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 from their marksman.
Pa, pa, pa. All right, I am also digging for it. I'm looking for that AP Bren Phovius game, and it seems.
Oh, that.
There it is.
Okay, so they're all going to be going for cooldown based damage. However, we know Click can get it pretty quick. Interesting. Okay, so for Blacklist International, their roam pickup. Are they still going to try to match the sustain? If they want to go something, it's a Nolan. The Rafaela would be really risky. It needs to be tankier.
It was a Matrix.
It was a Matrix last time.
Yep.
So
Matilda, Arla, Joy,
Alright, let's see how well this Click is going to do. For Blacklist and Sui and Edward again, similar to what they did yesterday against Echo, how they decimated Benecuti and really just made the most out of finding him. They have to do that here. They need to be really synced up how they're going to dive onto this cliff. They can't allow it to freeze it.
That's my thing, is, don't get me wrong, love the Clint. Super Marco, one of the only players to usually play this hero. But it's scary because looking across from you, having a Conda, having a Nolan, those two alone, right? You are going to have to take so much care of Super Marco here, because if he is taken out in a split second, you lose so much damage, and this is what they do. For the last pick, AP Bren decides to pick up the Martis.
Okay. So I thought they'd actually try to play the Assassin here. So with the Martis pickup, the Matilda Faramis Martis combo, yes, traditionally throughout the season, that's one of the more devastating combinations you can play because of how quickly you can rotate and initiation and punish. But I think for Ogwen now, he has to play a slightly more reserved role. Yes, you'll use the guide, not guide, but certainly Ego. You still get that vision and be the negator of whatever Blacklist wants to do. But you immediately need to get back to Super Marco.
Yeah, but again, this is Super Marco we're talking about. There are times where I wouldn't be surprised if he actually ricocheted or bolased forward to get into Nether Realm Rage.
Yeah.
So, either way, it's I can't say it's pure dive, I can't say it's pure backline that AP Bren is doing, because, again, any lineup that has Phobius in this current metagame just tends to leave you scratching your head.
We'll see how well Flapdiz is going to be playing it. I'm trying to remember when did Phobius show up again? Season 8?
The last time?
I think the first time he showed up was around
Season 8, yeah, Season 8.
Season 8. I'm trying to recall Flapdiz was an iconic Phobius player.
Well, the most iconic Phobius players in recent memory is Pando, and he's not playing.
Sure. But hey, Pando might have given them some tips, man.
May have rubbed off. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game number 2. Blacklist with a better draft this time around. First pick in the Nolan. Is this going to be enough to get them into this match? Finally putting one on the board.
Okay, so Blacklist with one master here. Look, wow, Edward's already here. This is going to be heavy work for the explainer of Blacklist International in terms of managing the map. That might be what
terima kasih.
has over the focus right now.
Semangat,
The
semangat.
explainer will see and update you as it develops in terms of who is more present in the map.
Gentlemen, what do y'all reckon? Fighter emblem Phobius with a little bit of HP there.
He'll need to really be sustained here because they need another frontliner, and yeah, that is going to be the Phobius alongside the Martis, weirdly enough.
Seeing right now too, just the aggression, right, in terms of the rotations happening quite quickly here, and I think that's one of the different factors for this game too so far. And at the same time, like I said, my big question is Renegade in this game, because I feel like he's able to do the hitman things
lupa
with the
di
Conjure in his
subscribe ya,
hands.
guys.
It's just like, if you utilize that Flicker Divine Judgment combination,
Bantu
can you
nih
actually
streamer
pick someone
baru.
off because of the fact that you have that Faramis Matilda combo to deal with?
And every time Renegade will try to pick off someone, that'll just be say, in terms of team fighting, that's already a signal for, okay, Flap Teasy, just go flying.
Yeah.
Slam dunk on them. And then again, the question is posed, how will Blacklist deal with this Phobius?
Well, starts here. He does have an old demonic force online. Turtle started up.
Oh, there's the Flicker Divine Judgment goes in with the penalty zone. Kyle T's going to be in trouble. Nether Realm there. First blood going to the hands of Kyle TZ. Another body falls. Kyle TZ will go ahead, work on the Turtle Satsui. In trouble. One hit with that auto attack from Ogwen to clean it up.
Matilda, air air lines, Ogwin Air Force coming in, taking one off the boards, and Sui did not see that coming.
Yeah, that isn't a 747, that's a fighter jet, Matilda. Flickering forward, basic attack, and we saw it there, the interaction. The moment that someone, and specifically Renegade, will try to pick off, that's just a sign for Flap Easy to use the ultimate, and since Sui was just completely zoned out.
The ultimate deterrent.
And look at the milestone of Agent Zero. First player to reach 30 million damage taken in MPLPH history.
Carl TZ in the stands. He's so envious. That's what he wants.
So he's looking at that and saying, I want to be number one with that.
One of the most damage taken.
But it just goes to show, and I think it really does back up the narrative around Edward and how integral he is to Blacklist's play style. Before the fighter junglers really came in, it was Edward alongside the other members of Blacklist International tanking damage. Well, specifically him.
Yeah, mostly him. Like the lineup can have almost zero peel and just the XP laner having it, and it would be a-okay.
Just plays out of his mind. No matter what game, and even yesterday when we were on the panel talking about Edward alone, Mr. Consistent, like probably the most consistent player, I would say, in the league, if you will.
And how ironic, it's him who took years to get a good nickname in, but now he has like all of them.
Agent Zero, Legend Zero. What's your favorite one, Leo?
Abun Ching Ching.
There it is.
There's a nice ring to it.
It's my baby brother.
But right now, can't believe it.
Whoa.
Mobius coming back. And mostly because of the Nolan. But then at the same time, I think it's just a good read by AP Bren because, and I know AP Bren is the first time to rock a Phobius. I can't recall exactly which region showed up a Phobius beforehand in the last month or so, but it just makes a lot of sense with so many dashes and how important dashes are for the re-engage and the fighting. Phobius is just shining right now.
Just gonna give this up again. Second turtle going in the hands of AP Bren. The last time they fought for it, they don't want to do it this time. Look at where they're planning themselves though. Blacklist International on the top side. AP Bren knows exactly where they're at, and nothing comes of it.
Hate to say, gentlemen, but the first 5 minutes of game number 2 is looking like deja vu. What's the item game looking like here? Oh, early endless battle.
Yeah, he's going to be rushing that. Actually, nice. I have to apologize. You asked me yesterday what's the priority for Clint. I said Berserker's Fury. It's endless battle here for Super Mario.
Take it back.
I take it back. Nice.
Well, there's the Divine Judgment. They can't take that back. Ogwin falls. So, Blacklist International now on the board. They're happy with it. And just a reminder, it was earlier today, man. It wasn't yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, that was yesterday.
It's been a ridiculous weekend.
It's been a long weekend.
Yeah. All right, so we see Blacklist now clapping back, and that's, I guess, their prime form, right? Again, Yavakaja should be telegraphed, seems a mile away. They want to pick off.
Okay. And they have the tools to make the most out of it. They'll be able to get the tower.
They know this. Edward, penalty zone on the defensive. Won't help him, though, as he falls. Kyle Teasy now making it work. They get the Nether Realm out. Few here and the rest of the party to help him out, but nothing more. But Kyle Teasy, eyes on this side of the jungle. Won't be able to find anything except this minion.
Yeah, let's see, APV. Yep, they're just going to be pressuring the jungle. Are they going to stay here long, though? Try and invade and steal away, but no, they're going to pressure Oheb.
Oh, they're still going to be pressuring here. Oheb flickers out, gets out in time. Renegade gets the grab with the Divine Judgment. Ogwin tried his best with what he had. Not going to happen, though, as he falls under the turret.
That's a moment there wherein the revamped Matilda may have been better off just being the old version.
Yeah.
It caught the Brody, it caught Oheb, and it went right underneath the thread. Hey, at least AP Bren caught something down bottom. That's a tier 1 push.
Yep, they trade out towers, but that was an error by AP Bren. No other way to put it there. Ogren and Kyle Teasy. Looked like Ogren wanted to go, Kyle Teasy didn't, and now Blacklist International have a better chance of getting this turtle.
This is a great one. Blacklist International wants to fight it out, but AP Bren on the response. Edward going to be in trouble. Restream comes through. There's the decimation. Renegade now on the run. Turtle's going to reset. Phobius just dunking after dunk. Gets the kill as they fall behind, and now it's AP Bren's turtle to take.
They put the hit on the hitman, and with those 2 pickoffs, ain't no way AP Bren's missing out, even with that retribution spent early on.
I really want to commend you for what he did there. Actually, it was him initiating that, him being able to pull back Edward meant that Edward couldn't start off the fight with the penalty zone. He had to use it to try and escape. And you saw that the moment that happened, Blacklist tried to position themselves. They took a step back, but AP Bren said, no, we'll step forward, no help.
This is troubles in
I'll
OLED.
have-
Can you do any magic
I think
here?
I'll have-
Circling Eel comes through. There's the dunk. Not going to be enough. Goes in the hands of Super Marco.
Ouch. That's all we can say. The damage on this cowboy. And the theme song, hey, if you want to slam, and if you look, you want to
Wow, that is a throwback.
If you look closely, Phobius kind of looks like Flapteasy in the portrait. It's meant to be. Just give him...
Oh, because of the hair.
Yeah, the hair.
That's right.
Oh,
There's the penalty zone. They're trying to hold on to this mid turret. Ogwin once again. But right now, guys, it's looking like the previous game. 2K gold ahead for AP Bren. All the turtles next on site in a minute is that Lord.
okay. One of the keys that allows me to say, hey, maybe it's not so similar is the fact that Blacklist are a little more aggressive on their trades. They have made a dent on the map more than they ever have in game number 1. They push that tier 1 up top, down bottom, and that allows for Renegade and Sensui to kind of make plays. They have the 2 key pickoffs early on, but they really haven't found anything in the mid game just yet. So maybe they can learn. They can pick up the tempo, pick up the pace, but that's easier said than done because AP Bren is not allowing them. Folks, this is a huge 2K gold lead, under 9 minutes.
Yeah, Yu has a 1,000 gold lead over Yue and has the Lightning Truncheon while Yue is still on the way to that item. So if Blacklist, they take their next fight without the Lightning Truncheon on that Valentina, it might actually be devastating for them because we know how Blacklist like to play. They actually like to stick together. But in this scenario right now, sticking together doesn't look like a good idea with everything AP Bren has. Get that Phobius. We have that term here in the Philippines, last sword. It's a poison pick right now, and it's so poisonous right now for Blacklist.
So far, AP Bren have been in control. Blacklist been farming up to close that gap, keeping it close to 1,000. Lord spawned. AP Bren first to the scene. Kai with the pull.
Right now.
Gateway management, very important.
This is going to be a full-on fight for this one. Blacklist International does not want to give this objective away as they have for the previous Turtles. Kyle Ceasy knows it. There's Flap. He's going to go ahead and use that demonic force, going to push him back, but will sit at half health here. Lord as well under the half point. UA going to go in with his own down. Now there's the penalty zone.
dapat semua anjir.
Review gets the Lord. Now they have to win the fight. They're going to be
Malah
chasing around,
dibalikin.
and member after member of Blacklist International fall. It's only a
Udah
Sensui
2-0
left to
ini.
ride.
All
Guys.
out chaos broke out underneath the Lord, right at the corner of the pit. And look at that, 4 for none plus the Lord. AP Bren so quick on the
Oh,
conversion.
langsung counter
Oh,
banget ya
Matt
sama
Hardy's somewhere
Oke.
and saying Blacklist International got deleted! Off of
Masa
the
di
face
end
of the
langsung
earth,
ini.
the burst damage in space for APB! What the heck was that?
Oh, here comes Ogwin coming in like a drone.
Do they want to finish it here? That's the question. AP Bren, quite a lead. They're going to take the discipline route and just back off for now and get these turrets.
And Yue did not have the Lightning Truncheon in that scenario, so the Valentina was lacking damage. As we look at the Infinix replay, it was actually good that Blacklist International was able to force out the early ultimate onto that Phobius, but wow, it was just a stroke of luck. Lady Luck saw you and said, you are my idol too, I'll give you the Lord. And that was miraculous that he was able to last hit it.
This again, a fighting here for the side of the jungle of Blacklist International. AP Bren gonna just take everything from them, furthering the lead they have.
AP Bren, their conviction, their awareness. They know exactly what the next step is. And right now the call is to choke out Blacklist International from all of their resources. Nolan, Sensui struggling. Look at this, he's crossing the river, getting sneaky with that purple, and now top lane's in trouble.
Gotta leave his team to it. They get the shield out here from the turret, but Blacklist International will hold on. Where is this saving grace for Blacklist to get back into this game?
It's hard to find, honestly. With the lineup that they have, it was very dependent on them taking control, them getting those early pickoffs, maybe even potentially an early snowball, but they didn't find it. And a defense for Blacklist International is difficult. They have great wave clear, but it's risky wave clear. It's not ranged wave clear. It's, how did we put it before? To defend your base, you have to throw and lose bodies.
Yep, and that's what Blacklist has here. If they were ahead, if they were picking off by minute 2 or 3 and then pow, pow, pow from there, wouldn't be a problem. But right now, you're staring down a problem. Specifically in mid, this is permanent damage that Blacklist has to continually deal with. And that means it's not so easy to farm up on OEB. It's not so easy for Energy to camp in bushes and find pickoffs because he needs to protect both Sensui and OEB. He needs to help confirm these kills. I'd say right now, the Hitman, he's overloaded with decisions.
Purple buff, gonna be a purple dance. Receive. Blacklist can take it.
Not sure if they actually want to go ahead and utilize anything here. They're already down quite a bit. They don't want to lose it just for a purple buff fight. With this Lord now up here, we'll see how they calculate this one. Again, a lot left on the line for this game too. Can they crawl back in?
Talk about awareness. Coyotes here spent the retribution. This must be a calculated choice, right? He's about 15 seconds away from it. They have the dance.
Yeah, they know they don't need to rush it. Already the limit of the Phobius. See, Flaptz tracking cool. Oh, Flaptz has the purple buff. That's actually worse for Blacklist International. That's not good news for them.
The push though too. They're gonna have to handle that on the top. So AP Bren knows this. He's gonna go ahead and just rush this Lord. They know that OHEB is not gonna be part of this fight. Renegade gonna be zoned out quite a bit. There's it. Goes in. Gets the wall. Gonna get out with his life. AP Bren gonna crash down on him, but Sensui did the job. He bought a little bit of a hope for this game.
It doesn't matter if he died. Sensui needed to do that for Blacks International. He needed the minions enhanced. He needed a little bit more of the map, and he did it. They did not control that white bush. AP Bren was blindsided.
Folks, that's why we call him the Zen Master. Cool, calm, calculated, in the zone, in the Zen, and Sensui steals the Lord yet again. Another iconic one for his already illustrious Lord stealing career.
Still scary though. You can see the damage, of course, from AP Bren, the reason why they have this economic lead in itemization and everything else. Even with that Lord steal, as great as it was, what does it lead to? Not so much.
Just a little bit of saving grace for Blacklist.
It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing.
At least it was something. And at this point for Blacklist International, of course, you just want to find those somethings. Up to a POD already is the market of AP Bren, but OHEB's relatively close. It's 1,000 gold lead, but that's not massive at this point. That's still competitive. Blacklist International has the damage they need for their marksman. It's just at this point is how are you going to get that setup? Blacklist couldn't fight even in the last scenario that we saw. Now with Sensui having a BOD in his arsenal as well. Maybe at this point, Blacklist will just overload damage. Leo, earlier you mentioned the Hitman just overloaded with choices of who's he gonna hit. But maybe Blacklist can just overload AP Bren with damage before they can even get the Nether Realm off from Pew.
Well, that's one option, but you have to consider, look at the damage dealt. Flaptz on top of the charts, he is the ultimate deterrent. He is just working out that counter play from Blacklist, and you can't blast him. Like, let's say you do find Few, and you take him down before the Nether Realm is triggered. You're allowing Flaptz then to go roughshod, jump up into the air like this.
He's gonna go for it again. Demonic Force gonna be popped. Few goes in as well. Sensui gonna be forced back. Still, can they get this one together? OHEB in trouble, has to flicker out, but it's Flaptz. Still forced out the Nether Realm. Blacklist International just has no entry point right now.
This Phobius, he's just dunking on them right now. 360s, windmills. I mean, you know, it's one animation, but let me dream.
I'll allow it. Physics are not but a problem for one Flaptz right now. 2-0 and 9, and they'll take away the purple. Wild golf, but come on!
They know they're down the resources. OHEB will go down. Sensui quite low. Sees all his team falling here, and now it's AP Bren focusing on the crystal. Phobius dunk into victory as they take game 2 for AP Bren.
This winning moment is brought to you by our official sponsor, FWD Life Insurance.
Folks, you saw that 4-man markup. The moment I saw 4 members of Blacklist flying in the air, it's Ogwen, ladies and gentlemen. Master Ogwen, the Infinix All-Star Roamer. What an ultimate from the Matilda.
now we go into pre-match point territory. What's going on in the minds of Blacklist International as AP Bren manages to pull what's close to a deja vu performance and repeat what happened from game number 1?
I will say it was a little bit better for Blacklist International here, but I still feel like, of course, 95% of that game, AP Bren just controlled it. And so, again, I don't know what Blacklist International needs to do, because it feels like there's so many things that they need to adjust here on the fly. Because even with this, like, my biggest question after seeing this performance is like, is Phobius actually worth banning? Like, do you actually want to ban this hero now that has come back from the past, if you will?
To add to that question and to maybe help Renmar answer, I actually like Flapteezy's Phobius more than Fuse.
Yeah.
They had to win via comeback when they put the Phobius in mid. Now, Flapteezy seems so comfortable. I'm buying it. Maybe Pando did teach Flap a thing or two, right?
Exactly, and I want to describe the playstyle right now of AP Bren this series in 3 letters to call back to one of my favorite consoles of all time: Pace, Space, and Punish, PSP.
All right. Well, I hope our analyst has a little bit more to add to that. As we're going over, he's going to be explaining game 2.
Maraming salamat, casters. Game 2, boss ko mag-intro.
Hey guys, what's up? So we're finally here. Hey! We're finally here on the MPL and we're gonna be doing a analyst segment together with one of the most best MPL casters.
Nabola ba? Okay, hindi ako nagbibiro, pero nagpa-fanboy ako ngayon kasi literal, pag kailangan ko manood ng mga patch notes sa official server tsaka sa mga advanced server, ay nanonood ako sa mga videos ni
Yeah, LG.
Yan. Nagpo-fanboy ako. Maraming salamat sa pagbisita dito sa MPL. Kami nagagalak dahil makakapag-impart ka ng knowledge mo dito sa ating game. Speaking about our game, again, this was an amazing match for AP Bren. Now, clinching out the 2-0, and of course, our MVP of that game, it is the Matilda of Owen, the roamer of AP Bren. Ganda ng kanyang pinapakitang performance dito, yung early aggression, and of course, pati na rin yung pagbibigay ng vision. 100% team fight participation and yung added sustain na nakukuha ng AP Bren with their aggression dahil nga doon sa mga heals na nanggagaling doon sa photo. And nakita natin, by the way, yung photo meaning Flask of the Oasis. So, by the way, nakita natin yung AP Bren na talagang tuloy-tuloy lang yung control sa kanilang aggression. Eh, hindi natin nakita na nakalaban ang Blacklist International. Elgin, gusto ko tanongin, ano sa tingin mo yung mga naging problems dito ng Blacklist International?
I think yung sa di naman pero parang hindi nila masyadong na-utilize yung peak-off capability nila. Kasi yung draft pick ng Black, malakas yung peak-off capability, andyan si Kaja. So yung mga I think yung mga first turtle, second turtle, yung may pinaka-chance sila na pasuan na si Trisla.
In hindsight, no, parang sila dapat yung aggressors kasi meron silang pick-off, nandun yung damage output specifically from the Nolan. Pero ang nangyari, baliktad. Kaya naging ganito rin yung momentum for AP Bren kasi sila yung nakakakuha ng turtle. Sila yung nagdidictate ng team fights. And again, tulad na nasabi mo, parang hindi na-utilize yung Kaja and Nolan pick ng Blacklist International. And that turned into, it's a momentum-based game for AP Bren. Ano ba dapat yung mga nangyari dito for Blacklist?
Ayun nga, yung pinakamalaking chance nila yung sa umpisa eh. Kaso nag-snowball na sila masyado. Si Phobius na dapat hindi ganun kasakit para kay Nolan. Ala na, masakit na.
Yeah. Maraming nag-iisip kasi na parang hard counter si Phobius versus kay Nolan. Pero ako kasi nakikita ko parang hindi naman kasi may mga ways to play around the Phobius. Pero umabot sa point na naging malaking problema si Flapteezy. Not just for Sensui, but for the entirety of Blacklist International. Kasi yung ginagawa ni Phobius in this game is yung zone sa backline na ang ganda pa nga ng target selection ni Flapteezy. Pinipili niya talaga yung targets na very crucial sa mga team fight and nililimit niya yung re-engage factor by just jumping in on the backline. Kaya naman hindi rin nakaka-respond si Sensui. Parang despite the damage, wala na siyang pakit sa damage. Ang gusto nang mangyari ni Flapteezy is ma-disable yung mga heroes from re-engaging for another team fight or skirmish. Now, we are looking at the jungle pattern ni Kyle TC muli. Naging maganda yung early game momentum ng Martis. Yung mga objectives, early game objectives, yung Turtle, sila nakakuha. And of course, alam natin po kapag lumama ka sa level, sunod-sunod yung jungle control mo.
Yan. I think one of the issues nila yung kay Martis, hindi nila kayang i-hold dahil nga sa CC immunity. Pero kaya nga sabi ko, dapat yun yung first few minutes ng game, doon nila medyo ginulpe si Martis through Kaja.
Yeah. Medyo unpunished din, na parang yung pick-off ng Blacklist International, hindi nila nagagamit. Maybe it's because of the fact na nakakailang din naman talaga hilahin yung Martin, especially with the Nether. Pero again, as you've said, nandun yung capabilities ng Blacklist International with their composition, with the draft, and AP Bren, it's just that hindi na papunish yung kanilang early aggression. E makikita natin sa emblem ng AP Bren na talagang early game yung hinahabol nila dito, especially with the Martis, rocking that thrift, yung tier 1 talent natin na bibigay ng additional penetration, and of course, yung dagdag damage siya rin from few with the lethal ignition. And ang gusto ko rito, yung emblem actually ni Kyle Easy, yung Impure Rage, medyo napakadaya sa focus dyan. Kasi every time nagagamitin mo yung first skill mo, may dagdag damage every 5 or 6 seconds from Impure Rage, tapos naka-vitality pa siya, so added sustain. Alam mo, parang talagang gets ng AP Bren yung idea nung lineup nila na early game talaga yung hinaharap nila. Ano ba yung mga napansin mo rito from these two teams?
Yan, nabigla ako sa Phobius eh. Kasi second time pa lang ata lumabas ng Phobius ngayong PL. So, I guess yun nga, pinili nila yun para kay Nolan. Which is nag-snowball eh. Talagang sumakit na si Phobius eh.
Parang ang idea is, kontrolin natin yung Nolan and Sensui. Huwag nating palaruin ang Blacklist International. But may crucial moment pa rin. Nakanako pa rin naman si Sensui ng Lord laban sa AP Bren. Do you think if tuloy-tuloy nangyari yun, may chance pa ang Blacklist International pagdating sa late game?
Kasi medyo may chance pa sila eh. Kasi lalo na yung pasok ni Terisla, nung last pasok ni Terisla na pagtalon niya. Ang ganda ng kaso whittled down na yung mga iba niyang teammates bago nangyari yung pasok. Lahat ata na CC nun eh.
Yeah. Yung lineup pa naman kasi nila medyo dependent din sa execution. Like, may punishing capabilities din naman ang Blacklist dahil nga meron silang Kaja. And of course, nakukopya rin yung Nether Realm. But then again, yung naging X-factor dito from AP Bren was the fact na hindi nga napapunish number 1 si Kyle TZ in the early game. And umabot tayo sa point na naging malaking problema si Flap TZ. Even dealing the highest damage out of AP Bren on their lineup. Super Marco, he was just allowed to farm in the early game. Kaya naman sila yung nakakuha ng victory dito sa game number 2. Now, going into game number 3, ano yung mga kailangan baguhin ng Blacklist International?
I guess yung sa una nila kailangan gawin doon, yung draft pick. Kasi tama naman yung ginawa nila. Naunahan nila si Super Marco ng Brody. Kasi ang sakit talaga ni Marco kapag nag-Brody.
Yeah.
So, hindi ko alam eh. Parang draft-wise, okay sana. Kaso siguro yung execution talaga, lalo na sa mga early stages. Parang medyo nag-ano sila eh. Hindi ganun ka-aggressive.
Kumbaga, yung draft, kalahati pa ng laban nyo. At the end of the day, kailangan pa rin mag-execute. And speaking about execution, ay kung gusto natin lalo pang mapalakas ang PH era, ay abangan natin ang MPLI dito sa November 15 to 19 para ma-witness natin ang top 4 MPL Philippine teams na mag-compete sa nag-iisang torneo na kailangan pa natin i-dominate. It is the only tournament that PH team has yet to dominate. Keep in mind yung, again, yung word, yet. Okay, abangan niya again, MPLI, November 15 to 19. Again, as I mentioned, draft is half the battle. Kailangan pala talaga nilang i-execute ito. That is the thing na kailangan ayusin ng Blacklist International. Meanwhile, AP Bren, dalawa na ang lamang nila dito laban sa Blacklist International. Let's see if may mga adjustments pa mangyayari dito para sa magkabilang kabanaan. Pero bago lahat, punta muna tayo sa ating Smart All Access.
I am not strong enough, but I will protect them. This is your very own expert wingman, Odin, or should I say Matilda, together with me and my friends Kenneth and Justado, joining me here at the FWD Life Insurance booth. Kumusta naman ang aking mga kaibigan?
Eto, buhay pa.
Buhay na buhay! How about you, Justado?
Buhay na buhay!
Ayan, buhay na buhay! Dahil nandito tayo sa FWD Life Insurance, tatanungin ko kayo, sino ang iyong expert wingman sa life?
Akin, ang expert wingman ko sa aking buhay, syempre yung crush ko.
Ay!
You know what, like, hindi pa ako umaamin sa kanya kasi siya na yung naging inspirasyon ko, siya na yung nag-aano ng buhay ko.
Anong pangalan ng crush mo? Isigaw mo na napapanood tayo ng buong mundo.
Oo, sinisecret ko lang eh.
Ah, sinisecret na lang ni Kenneth. Justado, who is your expert wingman?
Yung mother ko po. Yung mother ko po na lagi nakasuporta sa pag-aaral ko tsaka sa paglalaro ko ng Mobile Legends.
Yan! Sinusuportahan tayo ng ating family at ng iyong crush sa pag-iyong pag-ML. Kaya naman, gusto ko makita kung paano ang iyong expert wingman pose. Kenneth, take the stage. Doon ka sa stage. Let's go! Wow! Magpapatalo ba naman si Justado? Ipasa mo na ang iyong shield. Yan! At kasama natin ating mga kaibigan sa ating likuran, sinusuportahan ang FW Life Insurance Booth. Yeah, there we have it at our community hub. And after that, sa mga actions na pinakita sa atin ng mga kaibigan dito lamang sa FWD Life Insurance Booth, meron kayong pareho ng FWD Go One for Gamers Insurance Plan. And not just that, meron pa kayong loot bags from FWD. Thank you so much everyone sa lahat na sumusuporta sa MPLPH Community Hub. Again, this is your very own Odin, always on the way. Balik na muna sa inyo sa Land of Dawn.
Take us.
Thank you so much, Matilda. I could have sworn it wasn't me. All these years it was Reptar. Really nice to it's us. We've Rose back on the desk. We're smack dab in the middle of this best of 7, and Blacklist International yet to put anything on the board against AP Bren. Real quick, before we get into the thick of things, imagine a world where you can stay connected and seamlessly you can do this without the hassle of physical SIM cards. With Smart Prepaid eSIM, you're no longer bound by traditional SIMs.
This cutting-edge technology redefines the way you get connected, you communicate, and you live life. Get yours digitally delivered to your email at the Smart Online Store for only 99 pesos.
Now, let's talk about it. Elgin and Midnight did one hell of a job of breaking down game number 2. Yep. What's going on? Again, ball is in Blacklist's court here.
Yeah, I think right now, it's very safe to say this is must win for Blacklist.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Okay.
Is this an answer?
Is this how they claim the must-win situation? Do you call in the KDA machine?
KDA machine. Yeah, the Kapitan is in.
Wow. Okay, I'll throw my thought out here.
Okay.
This is a great start, but as I said before, we threw it over to the analyst stand and everything else. There's a lot of boxes Blacklist International has to check. Haji coming in. That's a great start, but let's see how that all unfolds.
What might this mean? As a 3-time World Championships contender, Haji here is bringing a lot to the table. What exactly is that?
That's what's making my head. That's what's making my head go crazy right now. Because in terms of hero pool, they're very similar. Lavaria, Valentina, Faramis. So is it just a communication being off between you and Renegade? Is there chemistry off? It's a question.
Well, he...
Senso terus ya. Oh, gua yang di lock. Kalah guys. Lah, ini dipakai nanti juga. Dulu guys.
Only that, so you know, part of this, anytime you see an Ixia in play, right? She is the epitome of a glass cannon gold lane marksman, and it could work out really well for them based on the rest of the lineup. But as long as they can let OHEB get to that point, then they'll set themselves up here for success in some of those pickoffs, some of those fights early on.
It's a little oofski as View stole away the gold ball from Sensui. Okay, little sequence.
Buff up. It seems like Blacklist International still very in control with this pick right now, so we can maybe give them the benefit of the doubt. Safe to assume that this was intended. Let's see.
Turtle now half health. The rest of the team coming through here. Both gold laners not a part of this. Edward gonna flicker in. Using that penalty zone, they're gonna fight it out. Netherrealm and into the insanity they go. They will get the turtle, but first blood in the hands of Kyle Teasy. Still gonna be fighting it out here. Oakwood already using that primal wrap. Will be fine. So they trade it here. An objective for the kill.
All right, Agent Zero for the turtle. What's the economy on that, Raptor?
Oh, well, it is AP Bren leading, surprisingly enough, with Blacklist International getting the turtle and TP's Barometer. Okay, so I'm leaning towards the idea that maybe this might be actually an intended project. They look confident playing it. So AP still has a spike lead despite Blacklist getting the turtle.
Yeah, there's about 500 gold here at 3 minutes in. Do note, folks, that Blacks International, through Sensui's just ever-sharp retribution, got that turtle right in the heat of things. Let's look at the top lane situation, though we did mention that the Ixia is a glass cannon. Is this triple support situation good for the Ixia? Is this going to help OHEB when it comes to, let's say, the mid-game? Because I assume that's what Super Marco wants to start a fight.
Yeah, honestly, one thing I wanted to say earlier is the lineup of Blacklist are built to help OHEB thrive, really. And the lack of dive from maybe Bren doesn't.
Oh, they're gonna go for they wanted Ogwin, but Ogwin said no, so they're fine.
They should be happy that they were able to force a flicker out. That means a little bit less surprise coming out from the Ego to Fogren. Again, he's been on fire with that hero. OHEB already got the build up of the Corrosion side. So yeah, this Blacklist draft is really, again, ×2 or ×5 of the idea of put everything in for OHEB, set him up for success.
Not just Ogre, even Super Marco had to spend his flicker. He survived that whole rotation from Blacklist. So yeah, big battle spell for your rotational speed. I'd say Blacklist put him exactly where they want him. There's about 1,000 gold ahead here between AP Bren and Blacklist, approaching this second turtle. And you can see there's a lot of blue up there. AP Bren first to the scene.
Now they're gonna make their way there. Sensui wants to get this purple buff. Gonna go ahead and do that, but will he get here in time to actually contest this? It looks like they're not gonna be able to. Bren J's gonna try to buy some time the best he can, but Kyle Teasy will get the turtle. And there's nothing Blacklist International can do about it.
Yeah, a step ahead there was AP Bren, but as Blacklist usually does, they leave OHEB to go into the XP lane, push separately instead. See if AP Bren can equalize it out. Good cut by Ogwen to give a little bit more time for Super Marco to actually get some hits on that shielding.
All right, I think OHEB there was maybe a wave too early. But again, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. Looking at the player gold here, Super Marco, yeah, no, that cut by Ogwen did get him up by maybe 200 gold over OHEB.
As we look at the items right now, it looks like it's gonna be okay. So the newer build style on the Beatrix, where they're gonna build the Fury Hammer first and then go into the Blade of Despair, turn that into a Hunter Strike potentially, or if they actually get the Snowball, they might actually even rush the Malefic Roar.
My biggest question too with this is like, if you even get the Divine Judgment off on the target you want to, do you have enough damage to follow up without OHEB?
We have the right kind of damage too.
I feel like maybe they're just gonna it.
Okay, the target's gonna be Flap Teasy, rest of AP Bren making their way. They have to get rid of him. He's got the immortality as well. Oakland jumps in, the rest of the team disengages. And that's what we're looking at. All that thrown at Flap Teasy, he's fine.
An immortality pop and a flicker for a flicker and some ults from Blacklist. So again, there's a good amount of economy here. Resources being exchanged between these two teams, which allows for them to sit at 1-0 6 minutes in.
Yeah, the lineup that Blacklist fielded actually, but wait, what the hell? Katis is actually going for infinity.
Yeah, see if you okay.
Ooh, goes to have you.
Sensui though, pretty upset about it. Will they pull the trigger? No, they don't.
What makes this all the more miserable for Sensui is he spent his retribution.
Yeah.
Good news right now from Blacklist. Oh, look at you. And that's the beauty of the Lilia. You can just sauce, damage, put yourself down to a really dangerous spot, but then you'll be able to set the damage dish onto you anyways. So the lineup of Blacklist actually forced Flap TZ to build an immortality, something that recent export players haven't been doing, which is that first item immortality. They usually build damage now, but because of all of the things that can mess up the export, he was forced to build it.
They're trying to delay this turtle here. Sensui went to get his orange. He's trying to make his way here. Blacklist International looks like they're just going to call it again, just giving up this turtle to AP Bren. Where do they start fighting? Being along for the ride.
Way to do it. You prioritize objectives, and again, we saw this in game one, rather two. We saw this in game two. Blacklist International said we'll play the map, and then we'll go from there. I hope they're able to step on the clutch fast enough this time around.
This Lilia is going to be a problem for Blacklist International. With every one of them wanting to step together, the thing Blacklist would want to look for, and their best target actually for the Divine Judgment might actually be that Lilia, or if they really want to, Kyle Teasy. Let's see if they can even get to it, because the damage on this little girl right now, up to an enchanted house and already going into Ice Queen. So they totally big coming in from that bit.
Right. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. They're feeling themselves. Again, the fact that AP Bren, none of them picked Purify, while they force a KDA machine himself to pick the Purify, just speaks of how they're going at this, their mental state going into game 3.
Yeah, okay, so for this Kadra, quick update, he's actually going for a defensive cooldown rush. So he already has a cooldown in his talent, but he also first built the Oracle into a brute force breastplate. So this is, tank Kadra, go for pure utility, maximize cooldown.
Man, every time you see that, right, you think they're going to push the go on it, but they don't. So Blacklist International, it just seems like their plan is, let's just wait, build up enough time. We put our eggs in the basket of OHEB here on this Iksha. Is he where it needs to be? I mean, he's got at least a couple items.
Yeah, he is still behind though.
500 gold, give or take.
500 gold, but the question right now is, can the lineup of Blacklist hold on long enough to actually allow OHEB to get a really good full barrage hit?
Well, we'll have to answer that after we see the Lord spawn. Kyle TZ just a wee bit better at securing them as compared to Sensui. Stealing them, though, that's a whole nother story. Lord spawns up top, the higher quarter, and now Blacklist playing footsies. No dice, doesn't want to force the issue. All 5 of them here present with Flap TZ following up.
This is the item pathing we were talking about, actually.
Yep.
Beatrix rushing the Malefic Roar already. So they have to watch out for this damage power spike from the Beatrix.
Right now, they're going to go ahead and start it up. Certainly as well, being shown nothing to it. They want to just wait, take their time for this. Again, with this lineup, a lot of this is also where OHEB is and on the positioning. AP Bren holding it together, though.
Yep, gonna be mid here. The priority, that main artery penetrated. First turret down, Blacks International. That's a lane that they just let go of. Top might be next as AP Bren continues to dance. Sensui got the pull. Blacklist very favored here. And AP Bren, I don't think they're in any rush.
They still have some minion waves to handle, so good little push there, top side from the members of Blacklist, OHEB and Renegade. Someone needs to initiate first, and let's see who the main target here for AP Bren will be and who the main target for Blacklist will be.
Again, both teams have the initiation. It's going to be Edward finding three with the penalty zone. They're going to have to fight it out. Oheb waiting for the setup himself. They're going to back off a little bit. The flicker goes through. Oh, Barrage, the flicker in. They find one. Now they're going to find it out. Lord's still going to be worked on. Looking for Kyle TZ next. He's right low. Can they get him down? It's Oheb that does it. They get the Lord as well. Blacklist International fights back.
The rubber band snaps,
Harusnya
and
anjir,
Blacklist International
Bengo.
took their sweet time, and that is the slowest turn and the most confident turn I've seen in all of the playoffs. They score the Lord.
What was the question earlier? Can this front line of Blacklist buy enough time and make sure that Oheb gets a key? Awesome positioning with that full barrage, and he did, and they could. And now Blacklist are finding some second wind, again with a lineup that we're not so sure of if it was intended or not.
And so far, it's them now in the driver's seat, calling the shots, presenting every single threat from every angle that AP Bren can imagine. I almost thought Few had the perfect angle there through the wall, but I guess Blacklist saw it coming. They were a step and a half ahead.
It also looked like that they were able to sidestep just enough damage from that Lilia, but I was wondering why Flat TZ wasn't able to use the Firaga, not Firaga armor, the last Insanity. Maybe he did use it a little bit earlier on.
He did.
Oh yes, he did. So that's why. They need to time that a little bit better so that they can actually use it for Oheb to force him back and find him his positioning. Flat TZ needs to time last Insanity better.
And you see this is one thing that exports love to do. They love to just stay up front and try to bait something out from the other team. They know they have multiple ways of staying alive, right? So with that, again, Blacklist International, they're showing the confidence, even if it's just Renegade showing it right now with the spam there.
He's got it. He knows it. And wait, they're looking for an angle, looking for a pull. All right, Blacklist playing this very, very carefully.
Bren needs to respect it, the positioning, and again, the support and utility rating of Blacklist with everything that they have to help out their Ixia. They need to conserve ability to find Ixia.
Edward could jump in. Target could be flat. They get the last Insanity out as well. Sensui gets his buff. They force him back. They get a resource out from AP Bren.
Slow and steady. AP Bren did the slow push down bottom, and so far they've kept the lead close despite Blacklist going in for the blowout in that last Lord fight. 40 seconds until the next Lord comes up. It's Luminous.
You're looking at Blacklist, it looks like they smelled a different kind of wind. This time they're a little bit more comfortable, being a bit aggressive and a bit more forward. Retribution, how easy. Actually use this red to try to get a slow on someone. This Bernard just yet.
DPZ. So hair trigger reaction.
Already up to going on as well. So that means Blacklist International are going to feel more damage coming out from that Lilia, who is actually our top damage leader of the game so far.
And again, Oheb, we saw it in the last fight with that Lord being there. The placement, the positioning for him so crucial here. And a well-placed full barrage with the flicker available could change the tide of a fight in the skirmish here. And we see them get positioned for this Lord fight.
All right, AP Bren and Blacklist International going up for the scrum. They can reset, they can engage, or they can back off. Lord here pulled in by Kyle TZ. AP Bren leaning. This is a push that's controlled by Bren. Ooh!
And for you, Bennett's Rage used by Super Marco, that's big.
That's a big moment there. Blacklist International wants to do something with it. They're gonna push AP Bren back a little bit. It'll have to be crucial with the positioning. Oheb in trouble. Full barrage gonna come down. Can they turn it around here? Flap TZ, Immortality will be popped. Still working on Lord. It's taken and secured by Sensui. And now they run down Flap. They're focusing on another Few and Super Marco quite low. Kyle TZ running for his life, but it'll be obliterated by Oheb.
And just
Ayo,
like that,
Blacklist.
Blacklist once more asserts
Respect
dominance.
streamer nih.
The Lord Pit, I was born in it. You merely adopted the Lord Pit.
Right now,
2-1 dulu,
the
2-1
Ixia,
dulu.
the positioning of Blacklist is the bane of AP Bren, having their backs broken not once but twice.
Still a little bit further off.
Whoa,
Edward to jump in,
dude.
finds the mark. Super Mark goes out. It's only Few, and here comes the Lord with with Blacklist International. Now focusing on the top. Flap and Few waiting for Kyle Teasy. Does Blacklist International end it here? You're going to focus again on the mid-turret. Flap Teasy keeping it together. Few with Kyle Teasy here now as well. Crystal's going to be worked on with Lord. Oheb gets another kill. Kyle Teasy's in trouble. Looking for him. One hit away. Sensui can't get him. And right now, AP Bren still sticking it in. Crystal's going to be worked on now. Blacklist International trying to hold it together. They find Kyle Teasy. Few here, Owen as well. Super Marco just gets up. And AP Bren defends.
Blacklist International, situational awareness. They could have overcommitted. They could have forced the issue. They could have stayed to possibly end this game and get one on the board in this series. But they say, let's back on out of here. I smell something fishy. Open popped the conceal. Could have found one. Blacklist skedaddled. 6K ahead. They have ruined AP Bren's base.
The size of the coconuts on Blacklist International. They were all so low, but they still stayed. They still tried to fight. Try to fight a push, try to build a lead even more so. I thought they were going to be a goner with all of the ticking, burn damage coming out from Fuse Lily or anyone really, but somehow, some way, and that seems like to be the theme for this game. Somehow, some way, they're making it work.
And it's clear how. It's clear how. The fact that there's so much utility in the first barrage of Blacklist initiation changes the dynamics of AP Bren. AP Bren are approaching this from a orthodox standpoint. But Blacklist, they have a different timer. This is a different game they're playing. And that's why big fight after big fight, they scored the Lord and turned it on AP Bren.
Overload and everything for the Ixia. It's working out well. They wouldn't be in this situation if it wasn't for fantastic positioning from the Filipino sniper. We gotta commend Oheb. 8-0-0. It's all Oheb. All the kills of Blacklist are from that Ixia.
KL1, man. This is it. You thought it was just Haji who came in? Now, fam, KL1 is here to play. Blacklist, first of the scene here. The Lord, they're gonna go for the pull. 17 minutes in. Not evolved quite yet. I wonder what AP Bren's thinking. They contest. Should they do this?
They're gonna have to here. Blacklist International has a couple of mortalities as well available to them. They've got a fully exposed base on the side of AP Bren to deal with and work around with as well. They go to the dance. Super Marco also positioning crucial. Oakwood as well. We've seen this before. We have to watch out for the concealed play.
Unorthodox is in positioning. I wonder if Oakland's going to change his position. Yep, he's going to push off with a wave. You see him in the shrubs over there at the side. He's going to try to go for conceal play with Super Mark. This is something Benny Cutie and Yowie usually do, but Blacklist are already starting to blitz a Lord.
Taking a trip there for Renajay. Flap Teasy still healthy. He's the front of the line for them. Has the immortality as well. They're still going to hold it here together.
All right. Looks like AP Bren's Ogwin and Marco took control of the long bush. They're trying to make it all the way to the Y bush, but no, here comes the engage.
There's the pull. Flap Teasy's armor's going to be down, and there's Ogwin with the conceal. They're going to find Sensui. Super Marco finds the target. There's the nether out, though. Edward going to jump in. Lord's still going to be worked on. Full barrage right under the cover. And it's Kyle Teasy. That gets the Lord. But Blacklist International on the hunt. Super Marco falls. Looking for more. Kyle Teasy quite low. Haji looking for the pull. Can't get it, though. But Blacklist International will now set up on this side of the map of AP Bren.
5-3 defense. Big fat wave up top. AP Bren holding on. Lord spawns through mid.
Kyle Teasy getting that Lord was massive. It buys some time for AP Bren, but how much time can they actually buy? Do they have enough to hold on and defend? 19 on Ogwin, 20 on Super Marco. Will they have the damage to clear up the minion waves?
Lord taken care of. Blacklist International gonna drop the full barrage right under the mid. Flap Teasy trying to hold it together alongside Kyle Teasy. Blacklist International force. They have the utility. Do they have enough? Ogwin now back up. Marco's can they defend the base here? Do they call it? Do they get back or do they push it in for a game win? Go for it. Forcing Super Marco back. Crystal gonna be working on utility. Is the answer as Blacklist International takes game 3.
This winning moment is brought to you by our official sponsor, FWD Life Insurance. Blacklist coming in with a clutch sub and a lineup that had us all scratching our heads. Finally get on the board. 1-2.
Well, they made it work.